Hello, adventurers. Well, that big lump of rock you saw me heading towards is called, I checked it out on a map, it's called Alpha Fell. At the moment, I feel like it should be renamed and should be called Alpha Fell. Bloody feels like it, feels tough enough. But if you are a regular watcher of my videos, thanks for coming back. But also, yeah, it's been a week since my last video when I enjoyed a fantastic camp up on Helvellyn. Well, actually just below the summit. I got a cracking sunrise. So yeah, in the virtual world, that was a week ago. But in Dan's world, that was yesterday and this morning. So yeah, the legs are pretty knackered. And yeah, I got up so early. I got up about 3:30 for the sunrise, so I didn't get much sleep either. So yeah, lack of sleep combined with no wind and the sun. Yeah, this is hard going. But I'm not gonna moan. Look at it, let's just stop for a minute. I don't know if you can make out Hard Nut Pass behind, snaking its way up the mountain. What an iconic road that is. I haven't driven that, probably won't tomorrow. Although I must say, I drove up Wynose Pass and that was tough enough. Must come back and cycle it at some point. It's been on my to-do list for years. So I'll keep battling on. I'll catch up with you a bit later. Well, I don't know if this camera does this justice. This mountainside is blooming steep. There is actually supposed to be a path there somewhere, but can I keep sight of it? Like hell I can. So I've kind of just given up and made my own route up. Now, I'll be honest, the cyclist in me has been tempted to almost snake my way up. Do it the way they do it in the Alps. Sort of like snake up and sort of do it using hairpins. But then I realised I'm in the north of England and I had to think, in the shadow of Hard Nut Pass, how would a proper northerner do it? Well, they'd take shortest route up, wouldn't they? So that's what I've done. I've done away with the hairpins and just gone straight up. Make a man of me, won't it? Apologies for the accent. Shocking.
As I pushed on, so the sweat was pouring off me and I had to stop for a drink. I tell you, the water just tasted amazing. Thankfully, the summit soon came into view, but I couldn't help but notice what looked like a sheep bouncer guarding the top. Would I get past? We'd have to see.
Alpha Fell. Completed it, mate. With that in mind, let me show you what I can now see.
Well, that first sheep kindly let me past, but I soon met another one, and I tell you, the video doesn't do it justice. The slope it was on was really steep. And one slip, you can see from the drop-off, it would have been a goner. So I couldn't bear to hang around. Pushed on. Before long, I reached the summit of Crinkle Crags at 859 metres. As I always do, I had to climb to the top of the cairn, place a rock right at the top to claim victory, and then I pushed on a bit more. There wasn't really that much more climbing or descending to do because I was sort of following a bit of a ridgeline. And the great thing about it is that, are the views either side. I found myself just looking either side, just enjoying the mountains in each direction. It was stunning. But yeah, it's quite tough underfoot. And as I neared my final destination, I had to cross what could only be described as a boulder field. You can see it there. It's really hard going and took quite a long time to finally get to where I was heading to.
Oh, I'm so relieved to have dumped that weight from my back and also to have finally reached my destination. It took a lot longer than I thought it would do. That's always the way. But what a cracking place this is. So Crinkle Crags, hopefully I've already sold it to you. It's a cracking part of the national park. And I've not seen a single person. And we're into May now, half term. The towns were absolutely rammed today, but up here, not a soul. And look at that, perfect timing. Just in time to see the sun slip down behind the Scarfield Massif. There's Bow Fell. If I get up early enough in the morning, that's where I hope to see the sunrise. Stunning. I'm gonna make myself at home now and get some food on. I am ravenous. Oh, it's good to finally get the weight off the feet and relax. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy, obviously gonna crack open a beer and have some food in a minute. But tonight I'm gonna be eating without the jet boil because I no longer have a jet boil. Let me explain. I had one this morning on the summit of Helvellyn, and somewhere between there and getting back to the car, I lost it. All I can think actually is I got my gear out when I went for a swim back near the car, and yeah, I sort of had to get all my gear out to get to my sort of swimming gear, and I think I left it there. Just so annoyed. You know, it's not a cheap piece of kit. I've had it for well over a year, and it's been faultless. And now I'm without. Never mind. You know, I suppose there are worse things in the world to worry about, aren't there, than that? So it's going to be some cold food for me tonight, but more important of all, let's just get this beer on as well. I can't wait. Oh, so let's see what's on the menu tonight then. We've got some vegetable curry. I'm not sure how nice that's going to be cold. Hopefully it won't poison me. We shall see. So I've got that, and this is ready to eat. Moroccan grains. That should go down well. We've got some Pringles, bit of fruit for afterwards, and of course the most important bit, a new beer. So this is Tiny Rebel Equalizer IPA. Very colourful, that's for sure. And it's 5.8%. So the fact that I've not really had enough water on the way up here probably means this is going to go straight to my head. I'll drink to that. Cheers. Oh, yes. Oh, that's really needed. And that is really good. Can I actually find somewhere to put it though so it doesn't fall over? There's a question. There you go. Right. Let's have a bit of a curry. Oh yeah, it's cold, but it's actually still really nice. Do you like this tin stuff? You know, you get loads of food, and it is, I've said it in other videos, so much cheaper than the dehydrated meals you can buy from like the outdoor shops. Just a bit on the heavy side. Then I guess once you've eaten, you've got less weight to carry. Oh, need this. Cracking view I've got there. The sun's well gone now, but you know, it's amazing. I was thinking about originally camping up on Scuffle Pike, but you know, you'd be up there looking back at this, and I'm sure it'd be beautiful. But in some ways, it's beautiful to be here. It's great to be here, sorry, looking back at Scuffle instead. Stunning.
With the stomach now full and the brain slightly pickled, there was only one thing left to do, which was to get the drone out. Enjoy.
You know, I was saying how I had this place all to myself. That's changed. Look who's moved in. Here are my neighbours. I've introduced myself, or actually, should I say, these two, I mean, are they ladies? Are they gentlemen? I've got no idea. But this one here came over, had a good old doss. I tried to tell her that I wasn't really interested. Then after a while, actually, I tried to strike up a conversation. So she's staring at me again. The last time I tried to talk to you, you just completely ignored me, didn't you? So, you know, it's no good looking at me now, trying to make up for it. What's done is done.
Eventually, myself and my woolly companions sort of grew bored of each other. We left each other alone for the rest of the evening. And yeah, time flew. It had already turned 10, even with the daylight still in the air. So it was time to get the bivvy set up. Beautiful thing about it is it takes literally minutes to do. And yeah, by about 10:30, it was time to call it a night. I was very much looking forward to a night under the stars.
Good morning, all. Well, let me start by saying I slept like a log. It was a real struggle actually to get up this morning. Completely different to this time about 24 hours ago when I was down below Helvellyn. It was a pretty broken sleep. I was actually quite pleased to get up and get hiking. This morning, that was a proper struggle. When you've got conditions like that, it makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? not too far to the summit of Bowfell, but just under 100 metres of climbing. So yeah, the time's currently about 4:10. I reckon I'll be there in about 15-20 minutes, and then hopefully we'll be treated to a properly good sunrise. There'll be no fancy time lapse this morning, owing to the fact that the battery on my phone is already quite low, so I need to preserve that. Might get the drone out though. Let's hope we do that. Right, whew, there's nothing like getting the heart going at this ridiculous time. I'll see you up there.
So soon enough, I reached the summit and found a great little spot just to sit and enjoy the views. I love this time of day, just before sunrise, when the air has great clarity and yet visibility often is just fantastic. It was on this occasion. And looking north, I could make out the Northern Fells and, of course, Blencathra. And as I turn my attention east, I could make out the high ridge of High Street and all of the smaller hills and valleys in between. The mist sort of sitting low as well in the valleys just made it all the more beautiful. Tried getting the drone out to give it a fly. Annoyingly, it was warning me about aircraft flying nearby, so it wouldn't even take off. Really annoyed about that, but didn't let it spoil things. So I sat back, had some much needed breakfast, and then just prepared myself for the sunrise.
Well, even without the drone, I'm sure you'd agree, that was still great footage. I just love sunrise. I go on about it in all my videos, but it's just such an amazing part of the day. It's well worth the get up. But there's Bowfell behind us now, come down quite a way. I'm sort of heading down into, I can see, gorgeous little valley. Look at this. Stunning. You can see the sun's not really made it into the lower parts of the valley yet. Got the Scarfell Massif behind. That's all lit up. Look at those little banks of cloud as well. That'll burn off in no time, I'm sure. But yeah, gonna head down there. Gonna get some much needed water. I'm rapidly running out. And maybe even take a dip in it. We'll see how deep it is and how I feel when I get down there. But the solitude up here. I'm just drinking it in. And I will do all the way back.
As I followed the beck, I couldn't help but notice on my OS map that there were waterfalls up ahead. And sure enough, I reached them. I couldn't believe how crystal clear the water was. And as much as I knew it was going to be cold, with the sun shining, that left only one thing to do.
Wow, what a way to finish the video, eh? And with a dip in that amazing little plunge pool. Tell you, I feel properly woken up and fresh now after that. Well worth it. But yeah, I don't want to be leaving, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's always hard to leave a place like this, but with conditions like this, I mean, I could stay the rest of the week. If only I had the time. But yeah, got to get home. Got things to crack on with. But if you're still watching at this point in the video, first of all, thank you ever so much for your perseverance. But also, just thanks for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel and you've enjoyed the video, then yeah, please click the subscribe button and also the like. You know, it's always much appreciated and goes a long way in supporting the channel. I guess I'll see you out there again soon. But if you're out there before me, take care. But most important of all, enjoy. Adios.